Guys, this is Annie, and tonight I have this very simple and quick manicure for you guys, so stick around and let's get started. And these are the items that I will be using for tonight's manicure. I'll go through them very quickly with you, but they will also be listed on the description box for further details. So I have in front of me my stamping plate, my scraper, and my stamper, the 3 nail polish that I will be using tonight, which is my base coat, my stamping polish, as well as my top coat. I have some jewels to decorate my accent nail, some cotton on my cotton claw, my wax pencil to pick up these little jewels. If you don't have one of these, grab yourself a pair of tweezers. I have my roller brush sticky tape here to clean my stamper with, some pure acetone to clean the stamping plate, and for cleaning up around my nails tonight, I'm actually going to use some regular Scotch tape here. So now that we have everything together, let's get started. Alright guys, so here we are. I have already gone ahead and painted my base color, and tonight I chose to use my China Glaze Deviantly Daring number 1168. So it's a beautiful, almost like a dark turquoise color, and you have that little shimmer in there, so I've chosen to use this one together with my stamping polish that I'll go through with you in a minute. But the first thing I want to do is to go ahead and apply my jewel. Now with the China Glaze base, this is actually just one coat of this polish and it came out really nice. So if you're interested in this, again, it'll be listed at the bottom for you. I'll have the name there and you can go ahead and check that out. So for my little jewel tonight, I will be using a Fleur little jewel here, and we will also be stamping with the same pattern. Now these little jewels are actually little tiny metallic pieces that it's cut out to, to go ahead and decorate your nails. So what I tend to do is, being that they come very flat, before you actually put your polish down on your nail, before you stick these little guys in, I like to go ahead and put it on my nail and kind of flatten it out according to the shape of my nail. Give it a little push here and there so it'll actually grip on the nail. And the way I do that is I just take a little pair of tweezers and I go to the sides and press it down until it takes the shape of my nail. So that's a little tip for you who use these little jewels, because sometimes they just lie flat on your nail and then they peel up really quickly because it's lifted. So again, this is pretty much what I went ahead and done already. I took my little tweezers and went to the edges of it and kind of flatten it to take the shape of my nail itself according to where I want it to be placed. So now that's done, we can go ahead and apply it to the nail. And how I usually do that is by applying my top coat and then the jewel. So of course I am using my favorite top coat, which is the Out the Door Fast Drying Top Coat, and I like to go ahead and apply a nice thick coat of that right where the jewel is going to be, but I do cover the entire nail. And then we're just gonna stick that little jewel in and tap it in spot, kind of secure it. So I'm gonna tap it down and make sure it's a little bit secured. And then immediately after that, I go ahead and apply another layer of that top coat and let that sit while we do our stamping. And be very generous when you're locking in your gems and your jewels on your nail. I always tell you guys that mine stay on until I pretty much have to pry it out, because I really lock it in so much. I'm very generous with the top coat, because if you can get that smooth over the jewel, it pretty much makes it like a sandwich between your base coat and your top coat, and that just holds it for a very long time. So the accent nail is already done. That's it. Keep it very simple, because the design we're using is also the Fleur print from my stamping plate. And for that stamping plate, it is the TU series plate that I'll be using tonight, and that's plate number TU002. The stamping polish that I'll be using tonight is going to be from my Bottle Monster collection, and this is going to be the Metal foil polish. The name of it is Chaos, which is very gold, as you could see. And just one little thing you need to know about this is if you guys are going to buy this, they do tend to stain a little, so set aside a stamper of your preference for these particular polishes. And if you want further details on these, I have already created a video for you, so you can take a look at that. So let's get stamping now. And the nice thing about this metal foil polish here is it actually gives it almost a matte finish, so it's very pretty. Just going to turn this plate around, and a little goes a long way, so you don't need to go ahead and you know, really waste that polish. Just apply a little bit, scrape it down, and it'll pick up really clear. And there it is. Beautiful, beautiful. And then we're going to apply it to the nails and line it up as best as you can. It's a little bit tricky sometimes, but line it up as best as you can. And this stamper is a little bit harder than the stampers I usually use, so I'm going to use my roll method with this. And there it is. Now, as you could see, some of it is lifted off. You just go in and pat it down with your fingers, and that puts it right back in space until you're ready. So let's continue with the other 3 fingers. Alright guys, so now that we're done stamping, we can go ahead and clean up around the edges first before we do our top coat, because if anything falls back on the top coat, it's just going to get stuck there and ruin your manicure. So I like to do my cleanup as far as cleaning up the extra excess stamping that goes on around your fingers, like this little one here. And then I like to top coat. But before we move on, I am gonna apply one more layer of top coat on this nail again, because like I said, the more you apply, the more that jewel gets locked in. And I will also do it again when we are top coating the rest of nails. So for tonight cleanup, I'm actually using a piece of Scotch tape. I usually use the latex, but I've realized it's minimal cleanup, so I'm just going to take the easy way out tonight and use a little bit of tape, and that would help pick up these polishes around the way as well. And I've learned this trick from a couple people who made videos out there. So again, you know, I said it before, but thanks girls, because this really does save your cuticles as well from the acetone when you're cleaning up with a brush. So definitely this was a good idea, whoever came up with this. So this usually helps to save your cuticles a little. And because we don't have a big mess with the stamping tonight, we're pretty much done here with the cleanup. So now we can go ahead and top coat. And when you're top coating over your images, I always mention this to you. If your top coat is a thin top coat, try not to swipe over that image twice, because you will definitely ruin all that hard work you've just put in with the stamping. If you have a nice thick polish like I do, also make sure that brush is loaded, because you really don't want to ruin these images after you put them on your nail. So I usually am very generous with my top coats. And I'm starting from the pinky tonight, the pinky nail. And also don't forget to cap your nails by brushing that brush across. That usually helps prevent wear and tear and chipping of the polish going up. Again, I'm going to go over that jewel. So this is actually 3 layers of top coat. So when these are all dry, that whole thing is going to be locked in there and sandwiched in like I mentioned. That's going to keep that jewel on for as long as I have this manicure. And I've actually went a full week with locking in my jewels and they actually stay on. And when I'm removing them, I really have to kind of pry them out, you know. That's how well they're locked in. So if you do it right, it'll stay on, it wouldn't fall off. And as you can see, my top coat here is very thick and is also very, very filled to the brush. So that's what I like. And tonight's manicure is very simple because it's so much details in the print that you really don't want to do too much with coloring and stuff like that. So I kept this one very simple for you guys. And that's it, guys. There you have it. A quick, simple manicure using the Fleur design. And I love this one. I love the colors and I just like how that gold really pops on this. So I hope you also enjoyed this video tonight. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to write to me. I will answer them as best as I can. And don't forget to subscribe for my upcoming videos as well. And thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a great night. Bye bye now.